Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, y'all, good morning. Hope you had a good Sunday. The Saints did not. New Orleans loses again. Saints are 1-6. Fall to the Bears. Spencer Rattler, 4 turnovers yesterday. That's the kind of thing you can't do. If you're Spencer Rattler, you're trying to win I can't get these buttons. You're trying to win the starting job. You can't go turn the ball over 4 times in a road game in a road game in the NFL. So Rattler, who's been pretty good protecting the football, efficient, was not on Sunday. There was a point where they mentioned on the broadcast the Bears had 4 scoring drives. The Saints had 4 yards. Not a great day. Poopy Groupie missed another one. Just not a lot to be excited about. Saints did go back-to-back, end of the first half, start of the second half. Touchdowns, receptions by Chris Olave. And some people are like, oh, Olave, I heard you talking about him last week. Like, great. 4 years, number 1 pick in his 4th season. Number 1 pick in his 4th season, finally had his first multi-touchdown game. 4th season. Like, spare me the Chris Olave talk. Guy's at best a number 2, or likely a number 3, but certainly not a number 1 receiver in the NFL. Anyway, and now the Saints get to come home and take on Tampa Bay. Class of the division. Falcons lost last night on Sunday Night Football out in San Francisco or Santa Clara. And Niners keep rolling. They're 5-2 without Brock Purdy. So, anyway, we talked about that. LSU getting set for Texas A&M week. Brian Kelly will meet with reporters today at noon. Yeah, anything else y'all got? Fire away. YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Oh, so a few minutes late today because Drew does not have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. They're on mid-semester break. So I'm at home with Drew. And so I guess I can start at the normal time, but I don't have like the hard time today because I don't have to bring Drew to school. So little buddy's still sleeping. All right, let's say some good mornings here. See what y'all got. Brian Wynn, good morning. Hey, Tiger Diver. Morning, Scone. Do you think there'll be changes to the line before the A&M game? I assume you mean the offensive line, not like the point spread, the betting line. Listen, at this point, it's hard to predict them making that change. If they haven't done it already, I would play Carius Current. The thing about Davis at right tackle, and Chester wasn't good either this week, but again, he was in a pinch for Tyree Adams at left. When he's not a left tackle. But I gave the example last year of Paul Mabenga, who was thrown in a very unenviable spot. On the road at A&M, Garrett Dellinger gets hurt, Mabenga has to play. And Mabenga struggled, and then his first start was Alabama and struggled. But then every game after that, like if you look at his PFF grades, they improved. He got more comfortable. Like that's what you would expect. It's kind of been the opposite for Weston Davis. He he's continued to see his performances, his pass blocking decrease. Now, his run blocking has improved, but his pass blocking continues to decrease. So, um, like in the last 3 SEC games, his pass block grade was a 32.1 against Florida. Remember, he didn't play against Ole Miss with 32.1, then 29.2 against South Carolina, then 23.7 against Vanderbilt. So he's going the wrong way. I would have been more encouraged if we were seeing that number tick up a little bit. Darren, good morning. If the buyout is the only thing keeping Kelly at LSU, does that mean Brian Kelly era is effectively over? I don't think the buyout is the only thing keeping Brian Kelly at LSU. I think fans say that, and I made a lot of calls yesterday, and there was just no appetite whatsoever, from my understanding, to move on from Brian Kelly from the powers that be. So anyone who's holding their breath, holding out hope that happens, there's just no appetite whatsoever for that. So the only way I think Brian Kelly is not the coach at LSU next year is if he chooses to leave, like retire, take a TV job or something like that. So I don't believe that at all. Brian, how much do you think the absence of Whit Weeks impacted the defense ability to contain Pavia? It's hard not to consider that, and not just Weeks. You didn't have Bernard Gooden. You didn't have Jamari Butler or Gabe Relaford. I mean, you were down a bunch of dudes in your front seven, but even still, there were times that, and by the way, my PFF episode, and the PFF's on the brain because I just recorded the episode. Devon Keys played really well. Sorry. Devon Keys played really well in place of Whit Weeks. He was your third highest graded defensive player after Monsoor Delane and DJ Pickett. So I thought Keys played fine. Witt's obviously, he and Delane are probably your best defensive players. So yes, of course it hurts not having him on the field. I don't know if that's why LSU lost the game. Hey, Chandler, good morning. I've been full pro BK since the hire. After the weekend, it's tough. I actually think he retires this year. If he does, do you call Lane, make him say no? I think Lane Kiffin will have options. There was a report yesterday from John Talty that Florida's already been doing their due diligence on Lane Kiffin to gauge his interest. Similarly, Ole Miss is working to give Lane Kiffin an extension and keep him there. I don't think that money is going to move Lane Kiffin. I think he's got to decide, does he have an opportunity to win a championship at Ole Miss? And if that's the thing he's seeking more than anything else, does a job opportunity come available that allows him to do that? More so than being in Oxford. Hey, Bubba, good morning. Chandler, I'm telling you, y'all need to stop with the coach conversation, because, I'll say it again. The only way that Brian Kelly is not the LSU coach next year is if Brian Kelly chooses not to be the LSU coach next year. Like if he retires and goes and does a TV job, like Saban did. But that conversation ain't being had. Hey, Cartobo, good morning. Father J.D. Mathern, good morning. How much of the O-line personnel is due to NIL deals? Dixon made a comment to Handy on postgame about Weston Davis making too much. That made a lot of sense. If that's it, BK can kick rocks. Well, as far as allocation of the funds, that's Austin Thomas's job as the GM. Of course, Brian Kelly's going to have say on what players they want and take and all that sort of stuff, but making the money work and how they allocate the funds, the rev share, and the NIL. That's Austin. Keep in mind also, you're talking about two different things with rev share and with NIL. And the other thing too with Weston Davis is a guy when he was coming out of high school that everybody wanted. You flipped him from Texas A&M. I mean, he's 6'7", 320, and he was like an elite level basketball prospect. Great feet, great athleticism. He is a guy that has every physical ability in the world to be great and that everybody wanted. He was a 5-star. He was celebrated when you got him. So let's not operate with the benefit of hindsight to say now that was a bad decision because he's struggling early. Maybe he's just on the field too soon, like which happens. Some guys aren't ready to play yet, and clearly he's not. But he's just one. I mean, not been a lot of good on that line. Michael Cook, good morning. Bailey, you said on Locked On before Ole Miss, Kiffin was not a great head coach because they went 9-3 last year. Is your feeling different for Kelly since that feels inevitable here? There's a big difference, Bailey. I think I'll answer your question. So, and I know that's bait. That's fine. I'll answer your question. Brian Kelly's been a head coach for more than 30 years. He's won everywhere he's been. He took lesser rosters at Notre Dame to both the BCS championship game and the 4-team playoff. Okay. Lane Kiffin, I think, has done a fantastic job at making Ole Miss relevant. That's a program that hasn't been nationally relevant since the 1960s, and he's made them nationally relevant. That's remarkable. He also made very poor decisions and lost 3 games a year ago he had no business losing with a very talented roster. Yes, I think this LSU roster is far more talented than they are playing. However, caveat is, and nobody wants to hear this, so I get it. But if you take the name off the marquee, like LSU lost close games on the road to 2 top 15 teams. That's not a fireable offense. I get it that it says Vanderbilt, and that's embarrassing. Vanderbilt's also ranked 10th in the country right now. Like, they're a good team. And NIL portal, rev share, all that stuff has shrunk. It has closed the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Nobody wants. I get it. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's true. But it's why I keep saying you have to reframe the way you think about a college football season. You're not going to have teams go 12-0 anymore. You're going to have teams lose. Just look at points. Look at the point spread. Did you see the point spread for LSU and Texas A&M? Did you see the point spread? Texas A&M is a 1.5 point favorite over LSU. I know y'all are going to roll your eyes, throw your hands in the air, and say, "How in the world?" Because LSU is a really talented team, and they're playing at home, and the gap is not wide. This is like the NFL. This is what it's like playing the NFL, where anybody can beat anybody, and it really feels like that because your doormats have elevated, and the top tier have come back to the pack. Hey, Brett, good morning. Who dat for life? Thomas, good morning. Chili 41. Club, good morning. Jordan, yeah, so a little late because if you're just joining, Drew does not have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, so I didn't have to come on like right at 6:45. I can still do that the next 2 days if y'all want, just to stay on time. Hey, Brian, good morning. Hey, Sylvain, good morning. You think LSU would handcuff Brian Kelly, refuse to pay for buyouts for any desired staff changes to freeze him out? No, I don't think they're interested in sabotaging themselves. Hey, Casey, poopy groupie. Hey, Brad, good morning. Did you see Billy Gonzalez is the interim in Florida? I did, and he was the passing game coordinator for a minute at LSU. Billy Gonzalez has been all over the league. He's been at Mississippi State, LSU, Florida. He's a pretty well-traveled coach. By the way, it was supposed to be Jabbar Jalouk, who's the assistant head coach at Florida. Jabbar Jalouk was supposed to be the interim. But, apparently whenever you strike an LSU player in the face, they weren't interested in having that video played over and over again. So they made Billy Gonzalez the interim. Or maybe they should have done the right thing from the beginning and fired Jabbar Jalouk. Hey, Brian, good morning from Colorado Springs. Call Nick, 3 years, 100 million. You can dream, brother. Hey, Brian, if we lose to Western Kentucky, do we fire Brian Kelly then? Sure, Brian. Good morning, Matt and Drewski. Y'all have a great week. Cartel, Matt, I know we're all keeping an eye on Rattler and Coach Moore. Can we speak out about Brandon Staley? Can't stop a nosebleed. Sure. I mean, the defense has been atrocious. Here's the reason I'm willing to give a degree of grace defensively. Where's your stars on defense? I mean, it's still the NFL. You have an old Cam Jordan. You just got Chase Young back. Brian Brzee continues to look like more and more of a miss. Just doesn't make impact plays. Demario Davis is incredible. He's 36 years old. Kool-Aid's not a number one. Nice interception by Quincy Riley yesterday. Rookie Quincy Riley, rookie Jonas Sanker. I mean, where's your stars? I mean, that's the challenge I have in criticizing. It's like, there just isn't talent over there. Hey, Fred, good morning. Hey, Chris, good morning. Does BK see the end of the year? Yes. Joey B. Brian Kelly's now 11-1 away from Tiger Stadium. I think this week could beat A&M, but lose to Alabama, officially eliminate us. Wouldn't surprise me if LSU beats Texas A&M for all the reasons we just talked about. This is a parity-driven sport now. The line's 1.5. LSU's at home. Tiger Stadium's a really hard place to play. Hopefully they get a little healthier this week. We'll see who they get back. Just watch Texas A&M give up. Well, I mean, A&M. 62nd in scoring defense. Arkansas scored 42. Florida scored 17. Notre Dame scored 40. Utah State scored 22. UTSA scored 24. Wouldn't surprise me. Hey, Tiger Poppy, good morning. Hey, Brett, until Gumsmack and Mick is gone, expect more of this. Yeah, the unfortunate thing, Brett, is he's not going anywhere ever. My hope is that they just reassign him within the organization and hire a real GM, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hey, Austin, good morning. This is a good morning to focus on all the other good we have going on in our lives, so we don't focus on Louisiana football teams for happiness. Do you think there's a discussion between Nuss and Sloan? Oh, a disconnect, sorry, between Nuss and Sloan. No, I don't think that's the problem. I think Garrett Nussmeier is getting killed on every play. Maybe we're not watching the same game, but I mean, Garrett Nussmeier is getting battered on every play. And you're one of the worst rushing offenses in college football. Your offensive line is not good. Now, who do you want to blame for that? We can have that conversation. Misevaluation, lack of development, all that sort of stuff. Okay, we can absolutely have all that conversation. But that's the root of every issue you have right now. Hey, Brian, who's in Florida? Billy Gonzalez is the interim. Did they make a run at Kiffin? Bring in James Franklin. It'll be interesting. I don't think they go up and coming G5 again. You just went that route with Billy Napier. So like John Summerall at Tulane, for example. Hard to imagine going that route after just failing with Napier. Let's say Olave is definitely a number 3 slot receiver at best. Really wish we landed George Pickens. Oh my God. Pickens is incredible. See the catch he made before the end of the first half yesterday? Dak dropped it all on Marshawn Lattimore, by the way. Incredible. You fire Brad Davis after the season, I'm sure there will be changes. Now, Brian, you and I will agree on that there will be changes. You don't get to have a season like this with so much investment, so much expectation, and for now anyway, to seemingly fall short without there being some accountability. So, yeah, I think there will be changes at the end of the season. Ryan, 8.5 win line for LSU seems accurate now. Done it, don't it, silly us. Yeah. I would not have had Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. Among the losses. I had them 10-2, had them losing to Clemson, and then probably one of the road conference games. I said one of Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma. Certainly did not have LSU losing to Vanderbilt. Hey, Fred. I traveled to Chicago from Jacksonville for this game. Ooh. I went to the game with family, not expecting the Saints to win. Just came to have a good weekend in Chicago. Okay. All right, Fred. That's awesome. Hope the weather's a little better. It looked terrible at the start of the game yesterday, but hope you all have a safe trip, safe travels, good time. Christian, what up, man? Are we in the Aaron Brooks era? Aaron Brooks won a playoff game. This feels more like the Billy Joe Hobart, Billy Joe Tolliver, Danny Werfel era, JT O'Sullivan era. Thoughts on the Napier firing? It was inevitable, just a matter of when. The boosters had disengaged. When you start hearing the reports last week that boosters met with Scott Strickland and said their continued financial support is contingent upon a change in the program, you knew it was coming. So, not surprised that Napier got fired, and it going into their bye week, so it's the right time to do it. Zinths, BK is invested. He's going to vacation during the bye week. So that is the definition of the fan echo chamber nonsense that I talk about all the time. Somebody says something, someone repeats it, someone else hears it, repeats it, it becomes fact to all of you. First of all, there's no proof anywhere that Brian Kelly went on vacation during bye week. Second of all, if he did, I don't care. Not one iota. Coaches do that all the time. Coaches and players on their open date, they take time off. Always. Everyone. So that's just a stupid fan narrative that you all, when I talk all the time about you look for confirmation bias, that's evidence of it right there. You don't like Brian Kelly, you want him gone, so you grab something that you feel like proves your point and you latch onto it and accept it as fact. Hoping LSU plays their best game Saturday. Me too. By the way, Nick Saban, Lake House in Georgia, goes there all the time when he was coaching. Oh my God, Nick Saban went on a vacation. He's checked out. Come on. We have to put in Vele, number one, use him in the intermittent round slant game. I mean, at least he's a big-bodied receiver. Drew a PI yesterday. Patrick, good morning. Here Norvell's job might be in jeopardy. Yeah. Florida State lost again. The interesting thing about that is to fire Norvell, his staff, and hire a new coach. I saw yesterday the estimates were it would cost all in about $100 million to do all that. Okay. Any word on the significance of Kendre's injury yesterday? Cartel, no. Ross Jackson is in Chicago covering the game, and he, after the game, had a piece up at Louisiana Sports.net where he kind of alluded to the fact that both McCoy and Kendre were not good. So, let's see. Ryan, Tyree Adams out, by the way. I didn't realize how many stars from this year's team are retainable. I mean, if I look at, assuming you're talking about LSU, I mean, Tradez will be back. Harlan Berry, Caden Durham. Braylon Moore can return for another year. Don't know if he will. It's probably easier to run through the list of all the guys you're losing. Nick Anderson could come back for another year. Hope he does. Because like Aaron Anderson, Barry Brown, Chris Hilton, Bauer Sharp, Josh Thompson, Nussmeier, they're all gone. Bernard Gooden, Jacobian Guillory, Patrick Payton, Jack Pyburn, Jamari Butler, West Weeks, AJ Halsey, Harold Perkins, they're all gone. I mean, you're losing a ton. Saturday felt distasteful. Yesterday felt blah. Going watching the game a second time really exposed how much better Vanderbilt was. Kamara and Cam couldn't be on the field as much, aging before our eyes, or shouldn't be on the field as much. The challenge now too is with Kendra getting injured yesterday. They played Devin Neal, but very clear and significant drop off. Oh, cool. Very good. Very good. Got a tour of Chicago bit, went by Obama's old home. Kelly Gross, good morning. Kevin, morning, Big Scone. Is 10-year contract for coaches the minimum? If we get rid of Brian Kelly, next coach get 10-year deal. Yeah, man, I don't think, Kevin, that LSU is going to be doling out another 10-year contract. I mean, I'll tell you the one the saving grace or the silver lining for those of you who want Brian Kelly gone. I did look at his contract yesterday. And it is offset by any job that he would get. So his buyout, I mean, but that's if he were fired. So like if LSU fired him and he got a job, even a TV job, the buyout would be offset by his new salary. Now, if he were to leave, like if he were to retire and go take a TV job, then LSU would owe him nothing. So that would be your one potential financial out. Would be if he left, he retired. Hey, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Thomas, let me get this done for you so I don't forget.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
All right. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, if you need North Beach, go to Brock and your roof. Give us a shout at Parish. A unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness. Trying to find my spot. There we go. Reed, the upside to BK's massive ego is that he has never been fired once in his career. So I think if he retires before he gets to that point. Y'all are crazy. Nick, good morning. Watching Perkins stand around on the goal line was upsetting. Chris, what does it say when former players like Booger and T-Bob are calling out coaching staff for the softness of the program? It means they're old players who believe that things were better when they played. Mark, in your opinion, how do you think Brian Kelly era will end? I don't know. Haven't really given that much thought. But I will be fascinated to see what this chat looks like next week if LSU somehow manages to beat Texas A&M. Manny, good morning. I understand the fans fire BK. One of the players started taking responsibility. False starts, holding penalties, clutch situations, poor special teams, lane assignment. Oh, I think it's all interwoven. The false start at the goal line is a good example, right? So you actually dial up a beautiful play, and Xavier Thomas is wide open, and it's touchdown. Except you have false start. So then you're back 5 yards, and then you end up not scoring. You kick a field goal. You could say, well, discipline, it all falls back on coaching. It does, sure. But the coach can't sit there in the stands and make you remember the count and all that stuff. Nick, give Brian Kelly a radio show. Jason Horn, suck it, Dale. Taro, is 2025 LSU reminding you 24 will miss? Yes, absolutely. No doubt. But remember 2024, I'll remind you about 2024 Ohio State too. So that was a team that offensively really struggled throughout the year. Lost at Oregon, and then in their regular season finale, lost a home game to a 500 Michigan squad, 13-10. Yes, the Ohio State team that won the national championship lost a 13-10 game at home to Michigan. And when they were leaving the field, students were chanting F. Ryan Day. And a month later, he won a national championship. Say, man, it's like so many of y'all still don't seem to get it. Like we're in a transformative period in college football. You're just not going to see dominant teams anymore. Like you're going to see things like Saturday, where, by the way, Vanderbilt, I'll remind you again, you lost. I noticed at Vanderbilt, you lost a road conference game against a top 15 team. Okay, who's ranked 10th right now, by the way. Anyway, but you're going to see LSU turn around and win a game like that. Like it would be totally appropriate if they won the game this week against A&M. Look at the point spread; it's 1.5. It's like watching the NFL, where you just have shrunk the gap. The top has come down, the floor has been raised. Did you see Kentucky and Texas? Texas puts it on Oklahoma. Then they go to Lexington and need overtime to beat Kentucky, which is a trash football team. Manny, do we need more smart football players? Football smart players. I don't know what that means. Matthew, what do you need to do from a tactical offensive standpoint to start averaging 35 a game? I feel it's necessary in order to have 90% chance of winning. Yeah, you need to block. You have a quarterback that's already proven he can throw for 4,000 yards. You have receivers, runners that have proven they could be really good. None of that functions if you can't block. And LSU can't block. I mean, it's that simple. Now you can ask the question, why can't they block? Misevaluation of talent, misappropriation of funds in the portal relative to class, should have signed more linemen, poor job of developing by Brad Davis, all that stuff. And it's all valid. I mean, not whatever the answer is, probably some of all of it. Benefit of hindsight, like I wish they hadn't signed Nick Anderson and Bauer Sharp and instead taken that money and put it in the transfer portal and gotten 2 more offensive line. Had they done that, I mean, and I'm only saying that because those 2 guys have sort of underperformed based on their expectation, and you need offensive line. Okay, well, invent a DeLorean, crank that thing up to 88, go back to January, and let's get a couple more offensive linemen. Hey, Brian. Saints, wrong quarterback, wrong head coach, wrong GM, wrong owner. Yeah. JJ, did Coach Kelly give a reason why he punted with 3 minutes left in the game? You do an awesome job. We love you on the San Diego Tigers. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate it, man. Very kind of you. He did talk about it after the game. He said he felt it was the right decision with 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout to stop the clock for their defense to get a stop and then get the ball back. I disagree with the decision. I'm not the coach. It feels like it's easy to say with the benefit of hindsight, but in the moment, I hated the decision to punt. It just, I guess the way I looked at it is, do you feel like what is the greater percentage chance of happening, converting a 4th and 8 or punting, getting a stop, getting the ball back, driving and scoring a touchdown? I just felt like converting a 4th and 8 was the higher percentage play. I'm not the coach. Hey, Jalen. Matt, good morning. Done with BK. Running out the string here. See what happens next season, but not hopeful. Morning, Matt. On an unrelated and much more exciting note, what do you see our starting line being for baseball this season? Yeah, by the way, Hunt Palmer has a good piece up over at LouisianaSports.net. He went out to fall practice yesterday, watched the scrimmage, and talked a lot about that. I mean, your outfield is set, right? You'll have Stanfield, Curiel, and Brown in the outfield. Aaron Beatty will catch for you. And Milan will play short. It's the other 3 spots in the infield that are up for grabs. I think probably Caraway from Oregon State will be your third baseman, which means the right side of the infield is what's up for grabs. And you get a pretty interesting mix of transfer players, freshmen, and returners. But I think that's really kind of the things. What does it look like on the right side? Can we have a conversation about our OC or OL coaches? Sure. Absolutely. You haven't scored 25 against an FBS opponent? Yes, you can have that conversation. Logan, Witt, Anderson, Cooley, Berry, Caden, Green, Parker, Thomas can all stay. Trivia, good morning. Lane Kiffin looks really good right now. What's interesting is like Lane Kiffin didn't look really good last year when they lost 3 games they had no business losing. And I'll just point out, okay, from the godfather of Bama is burning, that after Alabama lost to Florida State, and I did my skit and all that stuff, how many Alabama fans were donezo with Kalen DeBoer, ready to run him out of town? 6 straight wins. Now what? Careful what you put on the internet. It's there forever. But the flip side, I'll tell you too, is like take Bama. That's a good example. A&M was the same spot a year ago. A&M was the last unbeaten SEC team a year ago. They finished 8-4. Bama this year survived against Georgia because Kirby had a brain fart and didn't kick a field goal from the 10-yard line that would have tied the game. Survived Vanderbilt because Diego Pavia turned it over twice inside the 10-yard line. And survived Missouri when the home team had a chance there at the end to go win the game. That's what happens every week in the NFL, y'all. Like, every game comes down to the wire. The margin of victory is so slim. That's what we're watching. So I get why everyone is displeased. I totally get it. I'm not telling you be happy. I get it. Someone said yesterday on Morning Scone, they're like, my words were, you going for that is a cataclysmic failure. And I stand by that because of all of the investment you had in this team. Like I was saying, I was giving them leeway to say 10-2. You go 8-4, which seems very probable at this point. Tremendous failure considering the investment. But they were saying the same thing about Kiffin last year. And now he's Roses, right? Let it play out. Hey, Cole. Matt, with the lack of creativity on offense, it's hard to imagine us winning out the rest of the season. I have them lose to A&M, Bama, and Oklahoma. They'll be underdogs in all those. They'll probably win one of them. Not sure if LSU's Trey'Dez Green. Not sure if Trey'Dez Green is going to hoop at the next level or into the draft. We could really use him at tight end. Yeah, I think his basketball days are done. Cartel. I don't know that he's saying that definitively right now. But in some of the convos I've had with him, just kind of casually, and I think also his understanding of where his potential is. Like, yes, I say this all the time. In basketball, if you're a 6'7" forward, you're just kind of an average dude. At tight end, when you're 6'7", 240, with that type of athleticism, you're a freak show. You're a mismatch. You're a first round pick. I mean, his future is in football. And I think he's understanding that. Even if his first love is basketball, his future is in football. Patrick, what difference does our opponent having bad defense make if we can't execute a competent offense worth a darn? We have a standard of excellence. This is unacceptable. Larry, biggest coaching change that should happen is offense. Play calling is abysmal. So again, Larry, tell me what play. Again, you're going to criticize play calling. I'm not saying play calling has been awesome. I also think that's another one of the echo chamber fan things that people say, play calling. Really? I just gave you the one on the goal line where they would have scored a touchdown, but for a false start. Is that play calling? Or is that you had a backup tight end in the game, a false start? Took a touchdown off the board. Matt, hypothetically speaking, if LSU could remove Kelly and hire a coach, would your choice be Signetti? Well, it can't be because he just agreed to an extension at Indiana. And that's a fascinating part of the current day of college football because, again, you have created parity and you can win anywhere. Indiana is ranked number 2 in the country. They went to Oregon and beat Oregon and Eugene. They blew the doors off of a ranked Illinois team. Like, he got to the playoff a year ago. You can win. That's one of the reasons why Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin may not leave Ole Miss, because you can win there now as long as you have the financial buy-in and commitment to do it. Like, traditional recruiting matters less now than it ever has. Because ultimately, for most of the main blue chip players, it's going to come down to money. Ole Miss versus Oklahoma, who you got? Probably Oklahoma because of their defense. I think Oklahoma's defense is really good. Hey, Thomas, Jim Gate Day 30 haters. It's all we had it. Good fellas, what's up? Man, I'm behind on comments. Wow. I'm like 30 minutes behind. Jake and Flynn are ripping the team apart right now. I'll have to go back and listen. NIL Young Boy Morning Scone mentally moved on to baseball. Give me some fall ball days, which freshman I should keep an eye on. I'll tell you another one, man. I'm not saying he's going to play a huge role this year, but a name you should know is Daniel Harden. So Daniel Harden went to Catholic High and is a ridiculous athlete, but went and played JUCO baseball because he was a two-sport guy at Catholic. He played baseball and football. He was a receiver on the football team and outfielder on the baseball team. But he has like legit tools. But because he was playing football, he wasn't married to baseball and at the showcases and all that stuff. And so his offers weren't what they otherwise would have been. So he went JUCO. Incredible. Now he's at LSU as a JUCO transfer. I don't know that there's not a path to the field this year in the outfield because of Stanfield, Curriell, Brown. But Harden is going to be fun to watch moving forward. I think the one that everyone is really going to enjoy watching, and I had one of my buddies who scout was watching them play over the weekend and told me Zach York is the one that actually has a shot to hit 20-plus homers. So Zach York is the transfer from Grand Canyon, hit 32 homers there last year, and he's like 300 pounds. Like you'll see if there's video, but like he's like legit 300 pounds. He's a big old fat guy. And he is just your prototypical like Cecil Fielder stand on first base club homers. And he might be the power bat. Like the scout told me they thinks York will hit more homers this year than Jared Jones did last year. So he'll be a better power bat in the lineup than Jones. Take that for what it's worth. Brian, the games you speak of weren't close. Don't let the score fool you. It was a butt whooping. Wasn't close, Matt. What games are you talking about? Like the Vanderbilt game? I mean, that was close. Ole Miss was close. I mean, that was a 5-point game. You had 2 possessions that started in Ole Miss territory where you settled for field goals. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, you're Xavier Thomas on the right sideline at the end of the first half is 6 inches away from staying in bounds and scoring on an 80-yard catch and run. Like, what are you talking about? These are close games. Like, I get it. Vanderbilt ran for 200 yards. That's a problem. But you're in a game in the fourth quarter. Like, you're a play away. The books don't make money because they're stupid either. True. Jimmy, good morning. Elijah, morning. Do you and T-Bob still talk? If so, how's he doing? Looks like he's killing up at Barstool. I text every now and again, but he's in his thing. Football season's so busy. But yeah, it looks like he's doing awesome, man. We were at, on Friday, Alondra and I were at the hotel getting ready to go to the remote broadcast location. So we're meeting in the lobby to get the Uber to the broadcast. And in the hotel lobby, they had the TVs on. They had Wake Up Barstool. And so T-Bob was on there. So we took a picture, like a selfie with T-Bob on the TV and tweeted at him. Hey, Lowell, good morning. Trivia, Cam Jordan needs to retire. Probably. Hey, Brent. Gregory. Yeah, Schiller from Uruguay. Okay. Excuse me. After a weekend of getting mad, I had to calm down, think about the entire picture. Matt, if you had the option to draft in the 2026, would you take a wide receiver tight end? You know, Cartel, I can't answer that without knowing if Tyler Shuck is an option at quarterback. Because if Shuck plays, let's say after the bye, they start Shuck and he stinks. Well, then I'm taking a quarterback. Top 5. If not, if you're okay moving forward with one or both of the guys you have, then you have to get an offensive weapon. Like, I'm probably drafting the best receiver in the draft. Do we hit the portal hard again this offseason? Yeah, Brian, one of the really interesting things will be, like, is there an appetite from the boosters to spend in the portal again like that? Now, again, it's a little different because we're talking rev share as opposed to NIL. But I've explained this before. The way they front-loaded deals last year means you have your rev share available now to go in the portal in January, which I think they'll do. But next 5 games would be interesting. If you lose to A&M, Bama, and Oklahoma, go 7, which I don't think they're going to do. Like, I think they'll win one of those, beat Arkansas and Western Kentucky, and probably go 8-4. Probably what'll happen. Like, they'll play their best game. Might be this weekend at home. You know, Good crowd, Tiger Stadium at night, A&M coming in, number 3 in the country. Chance to give them their first loss, all that stuff. Like, maybe you play your best game this week. You bounce back and you get a win. Even if you lose at Bama, you come home, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and then you play Oklahoma. What's the appetite? Be interesting. Let's see. All right, y'all. We've been on here for almost an hour on a bounce. Sorry if I missed you. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Y'all check out Locked on LSU. I have my PFF grade episode. It's live right now. Kelly meets with reporters at noon. We'll see you for AFR at 3.